Hello and welcome to Bendy, a podcast about being flexible in all of the ways that means. Thanks for joining us. My name is Andy Young and I'm one of your recurring transient hosts. Joining me as always is our other recurring and transient host, Beth Martin. Beth, a pleasure as always. What's the crack?
I don't think I'm as transient these days as you are, but that's
certainly.
Okay.
But we are certainly both recurring. I think recurring is the most...
Yeah. Whether people want it or not, we're here.
That's true. The most correct word I've used in these. Yeah. So yeah. How are you?
I'm good. So I don't know if you remember me obsessing about this. I think I'm going to New York to see a Broadway show.
Hell yeah. Oh. Mm-hmm.
Yes. So I've been obsessing about this. It's a new to Broadway play. It's called Oh Mary, and it's based on Mary Todd Lincoln a few days before the death of Abraham Lincoln. But it's like told by this person named Cola Scola, who wrote the play and was like, I just want to be able to wear like amazing costumes and like a super bratty wig and just run around being bitchy.
I saw him on like Seth Meyers or something like that in the costume, and it was just amazing. Like he was just like, and it was like, how much did you know about Mary Todd Lincoln? And he goes, basically nothing.
Yeah, it was like I actively forgot things because it's dangerous to the audience.
So
like, you know, he's like, I didn't want people to be like, that's funny because that's where she was born, haha, right?
Yeah.
So I've been watching other clips, and it's been like, it got amazing reviews, and like I think it was Steven Spielberg and Sally Field who were actually like, he directed Abraham and she played Mary Todd Lincoln, and they started like, I've been following the page on Instagram, and like they went to the show. I think have I talked about it on pod? I probably have.
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
Well, we talked about it a little bit, but this is a lot of new information.
Yeah, so like they went, and you know, Cola Scola was like, I'm so sorry, and Steven Spielberg was like, I wrote the wrong movie. So, but Cola Scola is basically like, I wrote this play as if Mary Todd Lincoln was like an alcoholic, you know, human being who really wants to be a cabaret star, and so this whole premise is just like blowing my mind. Like when I want to laugh, I watch that Seth Meyers clip. Everyone should go look up Seth Meyers, Mary Todd Lincoln, please, right now, on your TikToks, on your Instagrams, and check it out because it's freaking hilarious. But they extended it once, and I was like, ooh, and then they extended it again. So it's extended through January, and I was like, what if they don't extend it again? And I know I'm never going to meet Mu Dang, you know, the Thai pygmy hippo, because she's only on exhibit now 1 day a week. We can talk about her another time, but I could feasibly go see this show, and I'm gonna do it. So
hell yeah,
I know,
amazing.
and I love New York, and I've got family there in that area, so we'll see what happens. But all I know is I'm going to Broadway, Andy.
Hell yeah, finally.
I know.
Alas, it's your destiny.
It is my destiny.
No, I'm really glad that's going to be happening. Good, because I know we were talking about that before. Good.
And I'm going with my mom because I'm cool.
Oh,
I was
nice.
like, do you want to go to Broadway with me? And she's like, yes. So it's happening.
Amazing.
I know.
Great. That's going to be fantastic. So, okay.
What's the crack with you?
So, the crack with me is, I was talking to Beth a little bit about this before the podcast. I did go and see The Substance, which I very much enjoyed. It was not as fucked up as I'd hoped it was going to be.
Damn it.
I'm not like, and as Lord, I don't need like, fucking really hardcore shit, but I think I just had different expectations of the sort of movie it was, but it was fantastic. It was actually pretty funnier than I thought it was going to be. But yeah, a really excellent film, and really kind of surprising to me that it's in like such wide release as well. You know, it's one of those sorts of things. But yeah, really enjoyed that. The other thing, so I have sort of back doing pet therapy since I came back from my trip, and one of my all-time favorite exchanges happened last week with one of the kids, where they said to me, just apropos of nothing, out of the blue, Andy, do you like Weezer? And I'm like, yeah, I do. And they're like, you look like you like Weezer. So I went from being delighted because I was like, yeah, do you like Weezer, to being quite offended at that comment. Like, it did make me laugh. But just a real gamut of emotions in terms of my Weezer fandom. And then, you know, it led to a larger conversation where they had told me that they were learning some Weezer. They play drums. And they were learning some Weezer because it was, like, pretty straightforward to learn.
I think that's probably where most drummers start. As kids, like that makes probably sense. Weezer. Or like some, like,
Green Day or something like that. You know, something that's pretty straightforward.
Not Led Zeppelin.
Not Led Zeppelin, no. And I was, you know, inquired a bit more about it. What, you know, and they were learning them, as I say, because they wanted to, like, play some stuff. I then also made you know, it's correct for me, but it really sounded like what's the word I'm like, pretentious, which was I really like their older stuff. I only really like their older stuff, and it's true, but I sounded like such an asshole. It made the whole situation even worse in my mind. You know, I was like, yeah, I like Weezer, but only their older stuff.
I'm not that hip, or I am too hip. I am too hip.
Yeah, too hip. Yeah.
You know,
I think.
Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say, like, it definitely is the case for, like, a lot of groups. Like, I don't, like, you know, Foo Fighters, the first couple of albums I quite enjoyed, and then I think it goes off a sharp cliff. Whereas I know a lot of people would strongly disagree with that opinion. And there's definitely a few other acts like that as well. But it does feel like, even if it's true, the most kind of wanky possible opinion that you can have.
I had something really nice happen. This friend I haven't talked to in forever. Like, I just got a recording, like maybe like a 15-second recording of the Flaming Lips and Wayne singing Yoshimi with these like two giant robots on either side. Yeah. And it was just like, that was it. Like, I could tell, like, I'm thinking of you. This is one of our bands, kind of thing. And I wrote my friend back, and I was just like, oh, this meant so much. And, like, I'm sorry I made you listen to the album over and over and over, whether or not you wanted to. And, like, they wrote back, and they were like, yeah, it was actually, we were there to see Weezer, but, you know, like, this came up. I know, right?
The Weezer
I know,
connection.
and I wasn't like, which band is better?
Yeah.
But which band is better, Andy?
I really like them both, but Weezer has more meaning for me, especially the Blue album. Like, it came at the perfect time for me whenever I was like a teenager, didn't know what the hell was going on. Like, and there is I don't know whether you remember the song "In My Room."
Oh, I do.
And all the references. I feel
safe. No one come. Yes, I know every word.
And, you know, all the references to, like, comic book stuff and music and everything, and it just so, like, resonated with me. So, like, yeah, it's just...
I think it's in my garage, not my room.
Oh, is it in my garage?
In my garage, I feel safe. No one comes to...
Okay. Looking at my mind palace.
Okay, look in your mind palace. Yeah, so I saw Weezer, but Tenacious D opened for them.
Garage, right.
Yeah. Huh. Who's a bigger fan? Who's a bigger nerd?
Damn it.
Who's right? But I saw Weezer, but Tenacious D opened, and it was like
nice.
It's like getting like a thunderclap in front of your face, and then like watching the ocean waves, like, right?
Yeah.
You're just kind of like it was. One was so epically full of energy, and like Jack Black was in full Jack Black, like I don't think he's ever not in full Jack Black, so it was really good. It was a great show. And then Weezer came on, and they didn't even say like, hello Portland. They didn't acknowledge us. They just started playing, and it was kind of like, okay, do they know we're here?
They don't have the same energy. Yeah, they don't have the same sort of energy. That is an odd combo, honestly. It really is. Yeah, I can't quite see how you wouldn't be disappointed in Weezer after that, really. Yeah.
But they played the sweater song, which I love, so.
Yeah, like they do have some great songs, and also like they, you know, Say It Ain't So is my all-time favorite karaoke song, so like, you know, from that point of view as well. But like I'm thinking here now. I like, as much as I would say I probably prefer Weezer to Flaming Lips. I have never seen Weezer live, but I have seen Flaming Lips live at least once, if not twice. So I just made a liar of myself. Apparently, I am a bigger Flaming Lips fan.
I mean, I saw the Flaming Lips live, and like it was the most disappointing experience of my life.
Oh, interesting.
Other than
it is
going to see Snoop Dogg and having him not show up, like those are my two like.
Oh.
Yeah.
Feels like some classic.
Like
Snoop
Wayne
shit.
was going through a breakup, so he just held this like fake baby the whole time and like cried and sang at it.
Oh God. I mean, like that seems like a very kind of on-brand thing for him to do.
Yeah.
In fairness,
this is how I feel today.
Yeah, I do quite like how much he wears his emotions on his sleeve. So you know,
it's true.
It is interesting. Like some of my favorite bands, like I think I've seen Queens of the Stone Age quite a few times, but I think that nearly every one of their shows has been pretty disappointing. There's like one I remember that was excellent, but by and large they're just kind of and it's not always been their fault. It's been like sound issues and things like that, you know. But yeah, hasn't dented my fandom.
There you go.
All right, okay.
So
I feel like I've been talking about bands for too
no,
long.
it's good. I like it. You know, when we come full circle and I'm right, it was worth the time.
I don't know. I may disagree on that. Okay. Time to move on to what's occurring. Do you have any?
No. I was going to talk about Spotify
have...
videos, but we'll see what's coming with that.
Okay, we'll be touching on that in a future episode. Yeah. I do have an Andy's Down with the Streets.
Ooh.
And it's one that kind of led me down. So it's a friend of ours suggested it to me. And it's an interesting one because they sent it to me with an explanation, and then I researched it, and I went down a bit of a kind of rabbit hole. So the word is haunting, and I think we have on the surface an idea of what haunting is, which is like something that maybe stays with you in a kind of unsettling.
My dog haunts me. You know,
yes.
She haunted you when you were here.
That's true. And it's just kind of appear. It's like a horror movie.
Yeah. No, she just like follows you around, but like with a sad, mournful look on her face. Like she knows she's about to miss out on like something, and it's the best thing of everything. But like she'll follow me today. I'm like taking a shit on the toilet, right? And like I'm not allowed to close the doors because kids. And like when you were here, I did obviously because guest. But she like she like peeks her head in, and like I was like, what? And she just like is staring at me, and I'm like, stop! I literally am like, stop haunting me. You're haunting me. Please.
That feels right. Like I remember, like even because I sat down to. On a yoga mat in your living room and sat down cross-legged, and she immediately got into the space where I crossed. It's just like right there. Hi friend, you're down at the same height as me. Let's hang out. She's a sweetheart.
Okay. Okay, keep going with your down.
Okay, sorry, haunting. Yes, I'm getting distracted. So right,
like dog, squirrel,
dogs. The initial sort of explanation of haunting I was given was involved someone actively trying to make someone else's life worse because they felt they needed to be punished.
So it's like...
So that's a kind of updated version of haunting in terms of like what it means in modern terms. However, looked into it a little bit more, and it is connected to the concept of ghosting, right? So if, for example, you ghost somebody, but then you reappear in their life in a sort of like vaguer way. So say for example you follow them on Instagram and you like some of their posts, that would be haunting after you ghost somebody.
That's pretty darn accurate.
Isn't it?
Creep. Have you been haunted before?
I don't think so. No. Like I get like, you know, certainly my experience with relationships tends to be like a kind of, you know, just slash all contact altogether. Do you know what I mean? I just walk away. So slash and burn is my sort of, you know, technique in past relationships. So there hasn't even been the angle to, because like I've blocked them sometimes, and also, you know, I am older now, so it's only kind of been a thing over the past, couple of my relationships, really.
I'm older now and less immature, less mature.
Yeah. It has maybe evened out with variety of things to be about as mature as I ever was.
That's so great. I like it.
Yeah, it was a nice one.
I'm like, do I haunt anybody? I don't think I do.
I think it feels more targeted. Do you know what I mean? Like, I certainly based on when I was looking into it. So if you're like specifically like in certain things, I think. Now I think about it, I feel like there has been some stuff in my life. But anyway, I'm not going to get into it. But yeah.
That could be another topic.
Another topic for another time. So yeah, haunting. So yeah, that's all I've got for what's occurring this week. So yeah, we're going to get into this week's topic. Beth, give me the title for this one.
I picked Andy's road trip, Folie, Deux.
Yeah.
I'm pretty proud. It came to me like right
excellent.
Away because we were talking about
really
all the negative reviews for the Joker Folie, Deux. So
yeah, so it's basically the movie of the year, future Oscar winner,
possibly
Joker 2, Folie, Deux. So it's named after that because we still have stuff we wanted to talk about from the trip.
Yeah, we only got
trip,
halfway through your trip. We were like recorded halfway through your trip.
We did.
So
we still have some fun stuff to talk about.
And it's easy.
No, we don't. We're
right,
not
sorry.
telling them that.
Like, I don't have to prep. I was like, me neither.
No. Shh. It was really hard. I did loads of work for this. I mean, I did do a decent amount of work. So yes. Okay. So we're just going to break down a little bit about some of the things that happened. I have some particular stories about the past few days. Some stuff that Beth doesn't know. Nothing super interesting, but like, no sexy results.
That's okay.
Et cetera.
With sexy results.
Yeah, that's still my favorite. Again, one of my favorite Simpsons bits. Just Marge underlining sexy results 3 times. It's fantastic. Okay, so first thing I want to talk about. It actually happened at Wednesday after we recorded, which was, and this is just a wee bit of an insight into people about what San Diego's like in a way. Because I feel like people have an idea of San Diego in their heads and there's like a different kind of reality to it, which is that, okay, so we went, beautiful day, got to be 80, 90 degrees, headed to San Diego. As you approach San Diego, there's a big sort of looming cloud that you see in the distance. And called the marine layer, right?
Yeah.
And you head into the marine
you
layer.
Go down into it. It's like you're like...
You do go down into it.
You're leaving blue sky and sunshine.
You descend slowly into the marine layer. And like, it's not cold. Certainly not by our standards over here. But it's like significantly cooler. And just this kind of layer of mist that apparently like hangs out there a lot of the time, doesn't it?
Like I would say... 50, somewhere between 50 and 70% of the time. Like we drove down, not all the way down, but like part of the way enough where it's like there's a point at which you can see out. It's like 15 minutes from our house, and you hit this point, and you're like, okay, you can either see the ocean or you can see this cloud that is where the ocean is, probably, if it's a good day. And then you're like, oh shit. What plans did we make? Or like, oh good, we're not going all the way down into that. So we took you to the beach.
Oh yeah, we did. It was a lovely beach, and it was nice to check it out. As I say, I've been to San Diego very briefly before, but like more than 20 years ago. But I'm pretty certain the kind of general worldview San Diego would be sunny and hot all the time, but it's just not the case.
People assume it's like Baywatch.
Yeah.
And there was like, we were like, it was us and these like angry seagulls. And then the porpoises did come out, or the dolphins. There were like, 2 pods of dolphins and like all these sea lions that were like literally waving at Andy.
They were very exciting and jumping.
Yeah. But it was definitely like cold. I was wearing pants and a sweatshirt.
And I regretted, like, I really was like, I'll be fine. I didn't bring any warm clothes and kind of regretted it later, but it was fine once we kind of got moving. But it was just instructive and very interesting, but still a lovely day out. So there was that. Then the kind of next sort of major thing that we did, because we just had a chill day on Thursday, was we had another day into San Diego. This day, a lot sunnier, a lot warmer, very different. We started off probably the closest I'll ever get to visit Mecca, I'd say, for me.
I think so, yeah.
Which is, we went to the Comic-Con Museum.
Da-da, da-da.
Which is very exciting.
I
know. So it was great just because, like, you know, and it's something we've talked about before. I would really love to get to Comic-Con itself eventually, someday, maybe.
I thought you
so
went. Did you go in 2017?
No, I've told you this is stolen valor. I'm actually wearing a Comic-Con t-shirt. It says
Comic-Con
Comic-Con 2017.
They sell, like, you know, like they've got like additional stock, and so he like comes running up and he's like, "Do you think that this will fit?" And I was like, "Yeah, but it's like a Comic-Con shirt from 2017 that he got for $9.99."
Exactly.
American,
I mean, like,
plus
at those
tax.
prices.
I know, you can't say no.
Well, yeah, plus tax.
So
at those prices, how could I say no? And I say I will very much love, you know, labeling it as stolen valor when people ask me if I've been there.
No.
But like, no, of course I was there. But it was great actually being in. Like, and it was. So this is it's part of a larger sort of area in San Diego called Balboa Park that has like 12, no, possibly more, both sort of exhibition spaces and museums and things like that. It's really cool. So we saw a fraction of it. Comic-Con has an ongoing standing museum,
and they changed the stuff. Like when
they do,
I was there, it was like completely different inventory of amazing things. So
we had, I mean, I think like there was basically just a section on
action figures
and superhero powers. And my favorite was so, like, you know, it kind of went through a lot of like common superhero powers and who had them. My favorite superhero power that came up was Beam. It's just like, that's a power. So, like, you know, your Cyclops, that's the only one that really matters. Your Cyclops, your Captain Marvel, things like that have beam powers. And there was also like a selection of costumes, actual costumes from some of the movies, which is very cool to see, and also some sort of like of the higher end cosplay outfits that people wore to Comic-Con, which is very cool as well. And there was also a Betty Boo exhibit.
Like Betty Boop everywhere, in like all the iterations and generations of Betty Boop, and it was a lot. I'm not gonna lie, that was a lot of red and black and white.
And Beth and I were both kind of like, Betty Boo. So yeah, but still, it was cool and it was nice to see, and it was nice to kind of be in there. They have like, I guess some stuff that stays in there a lot. A really cool kind of Batman statue in the lobby, some other kind of bits and pieces. But yeah, it was nice to check it out.
Yeah.
We then met one of our dear friends and went to, who lives in San Diego, and went to the Midway. The Midway.
Yeah, it's the Midway. So it's an aircraft carrier that was decommissioned in like 1997, and then in the 2000s they opened it up and allowed the public in, as it's like a floating museum basically. So it's like, it's hard to give you the idea of scale, right? It's just like, it's a big aircraft carrier.
It's kind of insane, honestly, like just how big it is. And like us, we kind of like, as part of the tour, went through probably just a fraction of it, and it was vast, and it was like you could have got lost in there so easily. But so fascinating to see. Like, I always find this sort of stuff, you know, especially things on that scale, like, you know, that humans put this together and it was operational and blah, blah, blah. It's such a fascinating thing. So it was very cool indeed.
Yeah, I think I gave us like 3 hours just to wander around and check it out. And so you get to go, I think we went to almost every level, But like you get to see like
Yeah.
the brig and like the engineers area, which is like so loud, and I can't imagine sleeping in that.
Yeah.
And the cafeterias and you know, you can see like kind of the ranking of officer based on their living accommodations and who has their own private chefs and who, you know, who eats in the main cafeteria right when you come down
Yeah.
the stairs.
Who has to share a 4-tier bunk? Is it 4 or 3 tiers? I can't remember. Yeah,
In the
it's pretty
engineers section there were 4, but like the very top bunk, they had me, I mean, the clearance, they granted they worked them like 12 hours a day, like shift wise, and so you're like always
Nice.
moving. I'm sure like everyone, you know, was super fit, because otherwise I don't know how they were going to fit in those bunks.
Yeah.
And like you don't want to be over
So true.
6 feet tall.
Getting to the top bunk, because like I got into the mid bunk for a photo op, and it was tough to get in and out of it. It's like I could see you injuring yourself a lot. But yeah, really very cool, very very fun stuff. I feel like it is important to note that I did wear my Utilikilt.
And he got
it did.
two compliments.
I did get to, one was a drive-by compliment as well.
Yeah. And like the other was
so-
like the guy, you know, that you walk into like whatever exhibit and they're like, would you like a photo? And I was
Yeah.
like, yeah, Andy's wearing his kilt. And he was like, I didn't say that, but the guy was like, I really like your kilt, man. It's like,
It was true. I was like, yeah. So I was like, thanks, man. But yeah, so it was just a really fantastic day. It was lovely. It was just a really fun hang. It was just like that day was just great, kind of throughout, really, wasn't it?
yeah, we went for appetizers,
Um,
like right on the ocean. And then
did.
I took you
We had
to
nothing
my
made.
favorite restaurant in the world.
So right, and here's like maybe a sidebar, something to talk about, because so right, tipping.
Yeah.
U.S. tipping culture. Right. So okay. So, it's always baffling to me, and there's like a certain amount of uncertainty to it that really kind of stresses me out. Whatever way my card worked,
Did the tip
I-
not go through?
no.
Oh, okay.
And I was really upset about that, because especially in the last place we went to, the staff were so nice to us, and I really kind of like wanted to give them a nice tip, and I had, you know, written a nice tip on there. But like, it's one of the things that like, I mean, you know, I wanted to get your kind of thoughts on kind of like tipping, you know, in the US. I don't know how sensitive a topic that is,
No,
because it feels like it's a crazy thing that, you know, people are like kind of reliant on it, but also like I understand it, and I want to make sure that I kind of like tip them properly. But often what happens is you give them your card, they run through the main bill, and you write on a tip afterwards. So like almost that they have a kind of authorization on your card for like 12 hours, 24 hours, which in and of itself, I would almost rather them go back, take the tip off it straight away, so that I know that it's happening, because, you know, as it stands, that feels like it's rife for like credit card fraud and things like that. It felt, and it happened to me a few times then. Whenever I left you and I was in LA, and I paid a few other times, and I left the tip and it didn't come off either, and I was just a bit frustrated, because especially when people were nice to me, and I'm like, I want to make sure that you're tipped properly. But yeah, it was an interesting one.
So, I mean, some places don't accept, I guess I was sitting here and I'm like, this is really simple. And then I'm like, no, I guess it's not. There are certain places that gratuity, it's called like tipping or gratuity, is included in the bill.
Yeah.
Some places, maybe you added a tip, but that's not something that they accept, because it's already built in and they already like pay their people whatever percentage more, but generally it's 20% of whatever the total amount was. So, but there are restaurants and places, that don't accept, or basically like build it in. And I just read, I think I told you this is off topic, but it's interesting. Like, we went to In-N-Out Burger, and I was like telling Andy that they make 17 an hour, all fast food employees in California, not in the States, but in California. And I got my voters pamphlet finally. And one of the new things is that they want to raise that rate to 22 an hour.
Awesome.
Yeah. Which I was like,
that's good, as it should be.
I know.
Yeah.
So.
Because that's, one of the areas where there isn't really any tipping isn't fast food restaurants.
Not really, no. Not unless you have cash.
But yeah, it's just and as I say, like I really like, I don't like the ambiguity, and as I say, like it's just, and I think like knowing that that's how my card works now, I think in the future I'm going to just make sure either I have cash for tips or whatever, because I would just rather, I know what the score is, I know what's happening, I know it's like done.
The hummingbird is right outside the window.
Nice.
Sorry. I have this hummingbird
right.
that follows me around and checks on me.
I think
it's the same one.
It's become like a recurring character, right?
Okay.
Love it. Okay, so moving on. The next.
Can we just talk about the restaurant?
We can't. Yes.
So
I may have to let my dog.
Let the dog out.
Right,
so I'm just going to talk about the restaurant. So
okay. Back
go. So world, hello. I'm actually going to tell Andy's deepest darkest secret. Just kidding. So this restaurant is like right in the flight for anyone who likes Wayne's World. It's like your ultimate dream fantasy. I told them your deepest darkest secret, Andy.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah. So it's basically like.
I'm glad it's out there.
I know. There you go. So it's like the Wayne's World fantasy because they have an outdoor seating area where like all these planes come literally, it's directly in the flight path. So you start guessing. You're like, I bet it's Delta. I bet it's Southwest. I bet it's United, right? As you're eating and all the jet fuel is falling on your food and you're just like, yeah.
Nice.
So, and the food's really good. So, and the staff is lovely.
It is really good.
So, and we got there and they were like, it's happy hour for 10 more minutes. And if you have like a sip of your cocktail, you can order another one right now. Or like, yes, we're going to do that. So they're just like super cool.
Why not?
I know exactly.
Yeah. It was such a great place. But yeah, just a lovely day, lovely night, all in all.
Next time I go, I'll double tip and tell them.
Yeah,
I'll make it right. It's fine.
Thanks.
Yeah.
I felt so bad. I really did feel bad. I think especially that one because like they were so nice to us, and I wanted to make sure they were tipped nicely. But anyway, it is what it is. Okay, so then next day we had a birthday party.
We did,
which was pretty rad. It's interesting because I had a conversation with somebody about this recently. It was a great day. Just really lovely. Met some parents that were really nice. It was just a cool energy to be around. I said to Beth, what was so lovely about it was that I got to be around it, but I had no responsibility for any of the children, which is super nice. So yeah, it was just really cool. But I was talking to a friend. There's something else I want to talk about specifically, but I was talking to a friend about this afterwards, and we were talking about Christmas recently, and we were talking about how it's just like, it becomes less exciting as you get older. And I said that like what was so lovely was seeing seeing your son open all of his gifts, and it was just great to be there for that. It was so nice, and it just kind of reminded me of the joy of like what I used to love about Christmas when I was a kid and things like that, and what made Christmas special. So yeah, it was just great energy to be around. The other key thing that we need to talk about was that we had a really bitchin' piñata.
It was it was a huge Lego piñata.
So it was, I think it was Woody Clum from the Lego movie. I forget his name.
Maybe check your mind garden. It's like Steve, John. No, I can't remember. Emmett.
Emmett, thank you.
Emmett.
Yeah.
So it was, but like it was a birthday party for an 8-year-old. Emmett was the size of an 8-year-old.
Yes, he was massive. Like he was so big.
So our friends have family that live in Mexico and build like basically like whatever piñata you could ever hope for. She's like the weirdest one we'd had made was a school bus. Amazing. Can you imagine how big that one was?
Oh,
And then I don't even know
wow.
how they get those up here because it's so big. And they bought two for their kids' birthdays, but they're like
Uh-huh.
they were so like they had one birthday party because their birthdays are so close together. So they were just like, "Do you want a pinata for yours?" And I was like, "Yes." So like the kids knocked it around a little bit, and and everyone's like, "We got to get Lucky Charms up there."
Is that what they said? I don't think I heard
Yeah,
me call Lucky
you were
Charms.
being
How
called
dare
Lucky
they?
Charms. So, and they like are.
And it was.
I got some photos sent, and they were like, "Show these to Lucky Charms." so, so it was
I need to
funny.
get those photos.
I know. I'll send them, and I have a video too, but it's like
Do.
really poor
Oh,
quality,
do.
so I gotta get it. I gotta get it sent a different way. So, like in
Okay.
in this in the Spanish culture, you'll put a blindfold on. There's a song that gets sung, depending on which culture and which family. Like you can sometimes
Okay.
spin the person around. So Andy had all this done, and then you've got to like try and hit this pinata when you're dizzy and like, you know, listening to the pinata. So our friend actually speaks Spanish, and she was singing the actual like pinata songs. You got like the full real version
pretty-
of being the person
There's-
hitting Emmett with a giant metal bat.
It also needs to be said that like Mike was holding it up and he was like far enough away, but not like so far away that he was completely out of the danger zone.
He definitely got hit
So-
at least once.
I know I was very worried about doing that. But like I mean like the fucking Lego pinata guy got fucked up. Like I think half of his leg was hanging off by the time I got there.
Yeah.
But it was very satisfying, very cathartic,
Yeah.
I must say.
One of the
So,
kids took the leg home and has been wearing it as a hat.
like, amazing.
And so I
really?
keep getting
So
photos
good.
of her wearing it, at breakfast and working on science projects and eating dinner.
That's so fun.
So
I love
yeah,
it.
and I have a good one of Mike like hitting it, and it's like the before and the after. It's like two shots, and you can see Emmett's face going from Emmett's face to like nothing.
It's like caved in.
It totally
Amazing.
caved in. It's so sad and gross and amazing all at once. So yeah,
That's fantastic.
Uh-huh.
I love it.
that's sweet.
Yeah, so that's
What
great.
you said about Charlie opening his presents, because like
Yeah.
I forget to kind of be like, I watched him blow out his candle, like,
Mhm.
and I didn't take video. I just watched it, and I watched like I think
Yep.
you did too, and he like,
did.
he's of the COVID generation. He also wants to go by Charles now. He's decided because he's
Okay.
all grown up. So I was like, that's fine.
Okay.
So, but it's like he didn't know what to. It's like his greatest dream had come true, and everyone
Mhm.
was watching him in that moment, and he didn't know what to do with his body. But like he was so like
Yeah.
he was like vibrating. It was so excited, and it was just like, because this fucking birthday party, man, like. It almost didn't happen. We had to cancel it because Mike had COVID.
Yeah.
I didn't think anybody was going to come. I thought 2 kids were going to come.
Yeah.
And like, I don't know, like 8 or 10 showed up. So just the fact that like, and then Mike the next day was like, I really actually had way better time than I thought I would. And I was like, fuck
Oh, did
yeah,
he? I didn't hear.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
that's
it was
awesome.
like,
Good. I didn't
I
hear that.
know. So I was like, all right, like I know it was a pain in the ass, but like it totally happened and it worked out really, really well.
I like even the parents and stuff that I was talking to had a blast
Yeah.
as well, so it was great. It really was.
Yeah, I think it's because
so yeah.
one of our friends showed up with a bottle of mezcal, but
That definitely
I know,
helped,
I
yeah.
know.
No, it was a great day. Yeah. So anything else we want to talk about that day? I think we're.
No, I mean, we
Which
went to
is
the
the
flea
pertinent stuff.
market, but that's like its own.
Oh yeah.
There's a really good flea market.
Yeah.
That's all. It's really
Yeah,
big.
it was good fun.
Yeah.
It was good fun.
Andy got
I
a
really have
hat
to just-
and some.
and several pairs of sunglasses
Yes.
and some. What are they called? The things that you put in your Crocs?
Oh, I have
Widgets?
no idea. I don't know.
There's a term for them. I got some of those as
Yeah.
well. It's a very very productive
Use of time and money.
Yeah, definitely market.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Yeah. So then the next day we went to Legoland,
That's right.
which was. What's the name of the area that was in
Carlsbad.
Carlsbad?
Yeah,
that was
so
it.
it's like-
I was trying to figure that
It's like
out.
an hour north of us, so it's not that far. But going from like 104 degrees to like 73 degrees, it was kind of like marine. It's on the ocean, so we were back in the marine layer. So it was like
Yeah.
cold and I don't know, mizzly, Drizzle, Misty.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
What did you think of Legoland?
I really enjoyed it. I mean, like, and what I loved more than anything was like the amount of Lego that was available. The store was insane. Like, it was really nice. We went on like, it was fun seeing the worlds, fun seeing how they did various things. Like some of the constructions in there are incredible, truly staggering. Like there was one from Ninjago that was just fantastic. There was
Is that
this
the
big,
yeah? It's
the big water thing,
like
and
temple
the
with a
building on top of it.
wave. Yeah.
Yeah, and there was like this kind of multicolored bull. Just how it was done was absolutely fantastic. But like it was, the selection of stuff in the store was mind blowing, and like they had some sets. Like the one that I was like trying in my head to figure out, can I make this work, was the Jaws set, which was just fantastic.
Yeah, because it's like
it was just basically
it's the ending of the movie.
It is. So it's like the boat is like half capsized, Jaws is coming out of the water, and all the dudes, all our favorite guys are on the boat like panicking. It's really great. So yeah, it was just really fantastic.
Got the barrels on the front, the harpoons, yeah. I also looked at that and was like, I would totally get that.
Yeah.
And I walked out with literally nothing.
Yeah, what did I get? I got like there was these D&D sets.
Which one did you get? You got her.
It's a tiefling. Yeah, it's a tiefling with a dragon.
I was hoping I would get Jonathan, but I didn't.
No, I know, that would be nice.
I got the Scarlet Wizard.
Oh yes, I saw that one as well. It looked nice. I should have got a few more, but I got that custom from my sister, but it was nice. But yeah, that was just a good day. That was the one we had to say goodbye after that.
We dropped you off in Oceanside outside of Domino's Pizza.
Yeah. See ya.
Way.
Yeah. Got a pizza.
Literally did that. It's a shuttle. It's where the shuttle gets.
Yeah.
It's just
exactly.
It felt
like,
weird.
There was like a Jersey Mike's over the way, and I was gonna ask, can I get Jersey Mike's before I get on here? But I did. I thought that would be pushing my luck a wee bit. Went to LA, so I ended up staying with a friend in LA. It was so like. I went to so it's a guy that I had stayed with before, and I think I've talked to you a little bit about this. So it was a friend, or it was his brother who had like connected me with him, and I'd only met Andreas a handful of times, and I went to Marcus's house, and Andreas was there, and I was like, "Whoa, what are you doing here?" And he's like, he's now living there, so it was nice just to catch up with them.
That's so great.
Card games and stuff. Yeah, so it was lovely. And it was interesting because like I'd been there a few years ago and seeing like how different it was, because like Marcus is now like building like a whole house, like a second sort of house out the back of his house and everything. So it was like both this wee sort of swell of nostalgia, but also like interesting to see how different it is now. Mm-hmm. So it was lovely. It was good to catch up with him, have a chat with him. And it was great also to pick his brains, because he was able to like give me because I was like, I've got a bit of time tomorrow morning, I want to do a hike. He gave me some advice for a hike I could do. So I've got a little bit of a story about that hike. So he recommended this place, and it was like a 5-mile loop. And
is it like up in the
I went
in the hills?
Yeah, I'm gonna find the exact name of it. But
is it Laurel Canyon?
No. It's not one I had ever heard of before, but it was it was Claremont Wilderness Park. Okay. I don't know if you saw a video I put up on Instagram.
I did.
Yeah, so it was beautiful. It kind of took you up into the mountains a little bit. So it was like quite vertical. So like I set off in this, and I was like, great, really looking forward to this. I had like a dinner, so a couple of cups of coffee, nice sort of big sort of filling breakfast, set off in this hike, and there was like every half mile there was a marker saying, like, this is how far you are. So like 2 miles in, and so close to halfway there, and my stomach starts cramping a wee bit, and I'm like, oh no. I'm like, oh breakfast. God. Okay, right. Okay, so let me think about this. how bad is this? Can I hold this in for like another 3 miles? I like walked another half mile, cramping. I was like, oh no, this is coming. There's nothing I can do. So had to, and this was like not ultra busy, but a relatively busy.
Did you have
track.
your travel toilet paper?
No.
Okay.
No, I did have a couple of spare tissues, thankfully, but it was a nightmare, and it was just kind of like, oh god, this sucks, and like, you know, so like it happened, you know, and better. So my options, and like again, this is I have just showered like an hour or so earlier, and I am setting up to get on a plane that night. I won't have another shower for like 48 hours probably with all the travel I'm doing. So I'm like, fuck. I'm like, shitting myself is not an option here. I have to shit at the side of a track. And also I'm like, seeing like all these signs of, you know, mountain lions around, you know, blah blah blah, and like I don't know any of the like flora and fauna and what sort of creatures are about
like,
that are going
in that area. There's no trees or like cover. You can't like duck behind anything because there's nothing.
I was able to like go down a hill a wee bit and get a bit of cover, and I like there was nobody in the immediate direction either way, and I'm just like, this just has to happen, and then I just have to like walk away from it as quickly as possible. But it was just a fucking disaster. So anyway, it was fine. I got to the car park. There was like some half-assed toilets. I was able to do that. I was able to then go to a juice bar afterwards, have an entirely different set of clothes in my bag, got a juice, went into the toilet, came out in completely different clothes. So that was fun.
That's what Superman was actually doing.
Exactly, yeah, just shitting himself on the side of a track. But it was yeah. But it was, apart from that, a beautiful way to start my day, and really stunning walk. It really was so nice, exactly what I was looking for. I then had it like, so like something I had forgotten and I'd meant to do was like, I'd say generally like clothes are like so much cheaper in the US than over here. So like I hit a Target, got a pair of shorts, got a pair of trousers, things like that. Just like did a quick sort of like, right, okay, I've got a wee bit of cash left over here, let's get some stuff that I'd be needing to get. And then went to my favourite cinema chain, called the Alamo Draft House. Some of you may know what it is. Most of you probably don't. It's like this sort of chain of theatres. I think they first started in the 90s, believe it or not. But they were the first ones to kind of do the whole sort of full food service and full like drink service in a cinema. So they have really refined the process. They've got like a full, like a light that just shoots directly down, so you can like hold the menu underneath. It's not going on the screen. Like you can like, you've got a little button you can press. They'll come, and you know, if you've got any more orders and things like that. One of my first experiences ever there, I got like 3 freshly baked chocolate chip cookies. That was just absolutely fantastic. But this time, so I'd been talking to Beth a lot about how I kind of needed, and it was a need, it was not a want, to have a churro whenever I was away. I did get one at Legoland and it was nice. And then on the lead up to my trip there, I was going through the menu and I was like, whoa, churro popcorn? So I had like, and like, so they basically give you, I would say, a large metal mixing bowl of popcorn. So I had that, I had a stout, and I went to see the Saturday Night Live movie.
He was like, check this out on the menu. It's been nice knowing you. It was like all you can eat or something.
Yeah. So I found out the free refills are only on the basic popcorn, not on that popcorn, sadly. But it was still a shitload of popcorn. Like, it lasted me almost at the end of the movie. But yeah, the SNL movie was great.
Was it?
As well. Like, the guy, you know, one of the reasons why I love that chain so much is like everybody that works there is a fucking nerd as well. So I was like, oh, one for SNL, and he's like, it's really great, I really enjoyed it. He's like, he's like, I'm not a big SNL fan, but I really kind of love these whole sort of a group of people trying to get something together movies. And I'm like, I totally know what you mean. There's a stack of that sort of stuff, because it isn't really about the sketches or anything like that. It's just basically about the sheer chaos in the lead up to their very first show. And I was also then talking to him about the substance, and he's like, oh man, you have to see The Substance. And I was like, oh, I love this place. I wish I could go here all the time. But yeah, SNL, I don't even know if, because of, like, Saturday Night Live is known here, but it's not really shown here in any meaningful way. So I don't even know if SNL will get a release over here, unfortunately. So I'm glad I had the opportunity to see it, because it was very well done. A lot of real kind of, like, some really interesting choices for, like, some of the characters.
Like casting?
George Carlin was, I forget the guy's name now, but somebody who I would not have thought in a million years would have kind of worked for him. And a lot of other, the younger actors who were like playing like Chevy and things like that were not people that I would recognize, but everybody did a really fantastic job. But yeah, great experience, great way to end my trip. But it was like, I came out of that and it was over and I was like, oh man, I'm going home now. This sucks.
I know.
But say la vie. And and then it was like one of the best sort of experiences you can have in terms of like your return flight, which is that the plane was half empty.
Oh, that's good.
So I had a chair beside me, which was fantastic.
Did I ever tell you that when I flew to Portugal?
Mm-hmm.
Either I flew to or from, and they were like, we accidentally sold your seat. And I was like, okay. And they're like, we have to move you to first class. And I was like, okay.
Okay.
So that's the best case scenario, Andy.
That is the best case scenario. Yeah, okay. I wish. I have one a last thing that happened in the airport, actually, that I need to tell you about, which made me very happy, was that I ordered a beer at the airport and they asked to see my ID.
Did they?
Yeah. Yes, they did. Woo, woo, woo.
He's literally raising the roof.
That's probably the last time that's ever going to happen to me in my life, so I'm going to enjoy it.
I don't remember the last time anyone asked to see my ID.
It's definitely been a few years for me, but it has happened in my 40s for sure. But yeah, this is I'm really pushing things now, like 24 years, even in the US, from needing to be carded, so yeah, that was nice.
Golf clap.
So yeah, thanks for the tiny clap. I appreciate
good job.
it.
Way to look young.
Thank you.
It's all that good travel.
It is all that good travel. That's all I've got. It was really an amazing trip. I remember texting Beth whenever I came back about how I was kind of bummed out to be home, and
period.
I am definitely happier a few days into it, but like at first it was just like such a kind of like come down from the kind of like lovely atmosphere I was in, for that trip. So but it was just as you'd expect from a holiday. I think a lot of the times, I think there's always certainly that period of adjustment of getting renormalizing back into the standard life. But yeah, what a lovely time.
It was so much fun. It was like the hardest part. Oh, of course. I mean, come back, obviously. Like I was throwing down the gauntlet, so you have to, it was so fun that you'd have to be like, oh, I want to do more of that. And there was like other things, like we would go places and I would be like, right, next time, like I'll take you there. We'll do that. Like there's so much to do here. And I don't do much of it, I hear
you.
It's like I go to the flea market. I maybe will, do like one of the hikes that we did. I guess I do the Midway pretty frequently because it's my favorite. Yeah. It's my favorite place ever. But
even our friend who lives in San Diego was like,
I've never done the
Midway, and she's lived there her whole life. So it's like and I think that's a very common thing for a lot of people who like live close to places. You're like, I'll do it eventually, and you just don't get around to it.
Mike took the kids to Legoland on Friday night.
Oh, did he? Nice. Wow.
We took Andy. Mike was like, if I'm paying all this money, we might as well just have like a season pass. And I have a love-hate relationship with Legoland. I love the store. I don't love the rest of it, basically. But I
can understand that.
They went. It's called Brick or Treat, get it, because
Yes.
we love trick-or-treating and Halloween over here. So and the kids got dressed up. They got they came home with like 4 pounds of candy each, and there were
Wow.
no lines on the rides, and they got there at
Very
like
interesting.
5 and they left at 9. So I think that's where it's at,
Okay.
is to go
That's
at
good to
night.
know.
Yeah,
Okay.
probably with
Yeah,
most
that's-
theme parks, honestly, but like,
Yeah, I think that's probably true, actually. Yeah.
so
That's interesting. Because that was those wee stalls that we saw that were like not open whenever. Yeah. That was
Yep.
Okay, good. I'm glad they kind of got that experience,
did.
because I think we were all a bit sad that they weren't open at the
I
time.
know.
Okay, I do have something else, but I feel like I'm looking at the
No,
time
go.
and I'm thinking I'll see it. Well, it was just, you know what it was, and this isn't be a bad place to put this, but it's something separate, because I've been watching more Normal People since I got back home.
Okay, I could talk about Normal People all day, every day.
I know you could. But it was more, and I guess it's more of an appeal to our listeners as well, because like I remember you talking to me a bit about we were talking about prom, American prom, and you were talking about what my equivalent would be, and then you mentioned the word Debs, and then there was the episode with the Debs in it in Normal People, and then I started thinking about us, and I started thinking about how we call it a formal, and then it got me thinking of whether it's a Protestant Catholic thing.
Oh,
So I don't know if any of our
interesting.
listeners could inform me on that. If you do, if you're listening, you want to reach out, let me know.
Like Debs versus formal, or like having
Yeah,
any?
so
Okay.
no, so
Or
Debs
having
versus formal.
having
I
anything.
think
Okay.
I think they are the same thing. I just think they're called something different, you know. So I think it's Debs. I think it's Debs down south, and then probably for like Catholic folks, I think it's probably a formal for both people in the mainland UK and Protestants up here. Probably is my guess. Who knows? But yeah, it just got me thinking that, because you mentioned it before, and it was like, oh yeah, okay. So yeah.
He should have taken her to the Debs. That's all I'm gonna say.
He should have taken her to the Debs. He was gutted about it. Hey, I didn't have a lot of sympathy for him, but I felt his emotion. He fucked up.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, so yeah, that's completely off off topic.
Did I give you the
tangent
book?
at the end there?
I can't remember.
You
Okay,
did.
good.
Yeah,
Okay, good.
you did. I'm gonna finish the series, and then I'm gonna give it a read.
Yeah,
I might
that's what I did.
space it out a wee bit, so I'm not reading it directly afterwards, but I plan to for sure. So I think that in a very awkward and completely unrelated way has wrapped up our topic for this week. So time to move on to our final section, which is what's been bringing you joy this week.
So the nice thing is, within this week you were here, right? So I would say, wait, was it a week ago?
No.
Oh, we missed a week.
I left.
You did.
A week.
It's
yeah.
okay. Anyways, 2 weeks, whatever. I would say, I'm gonna harken back to when you were here. It was the day. It was the day that you and I and our friend went downtown and just like mucked around. And there, I like. I'm not complaining. That's not what I'm not complaining, but just not having to worry about like kids' schedule pickup at school, like working the kids in. It was just like, it reminded me of like the feeling I had when we were in Portugal, and it was just like whatever we wanted to do, didn't matter what time. We didn't really have anywhere else to be, so we did what we wanted when we wanted, and it was just like, so it was nice to be an adult and have a beverage by the ocean and like talk about adult things. And
True.
I just need to do more of that, I think, in my life in general, probably, because it was so great.
It was. It was a great day. It really
And I do
was.
love my children. I just also love adult time.
No.
So.
And I think that like we've talked about this before. I think any parents that I know would completely understand what you're talking about. Do you know what I mean? Like there is a need to have both of that and to still kind of acknowledge your adult life as well, because it can quite easily get lost. I think for a lot of folks.
Yes. And
not that
you and our friend were far less whiny about like me dragging you all over the Midway for 3 hours. So.
That's true. It was great.
Put you in the brig.
Yeah. So that's true. Yeah, I was in the brig. So what has been bringing me joy, and I'm not going to talk about it in detail in case Beth hasn't seen it yet, but like I basically mainlined all of the most recent season of Slow Horses as soon as I came back.
I haven't seen all of it.
Okay, so I won't mention too much, but like it's interesting. I'm just going to talk about it a little bit generally. Like I really like that show, but I feel like
it's culminated. It's done.
It's finished.
Okay.
It's finished.
Now I've been like going back to when it's like, what do we watch? It's always Game of Thrones. We're just like waiting, plotting and waiting for something else. So now I'm gonna.
Yeah, just churn through that.
Yep.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So like, you're welcome. So like, I think that like I really like that show, and I will definitely recommend it to people all day. But I think it has, I really love all the characters, and I think that it's like greatest strength is also maybe its biggest weakness in that it's only 6 episodes long each season, and there are so many characters that a lot of them feel a little bit underserved a lot of the time, but it's so great. I think the characters are so great that it doesn't really matter to me anyway. I just find it nice to spend time with these folks, and I just love the sort of because like as time goes on, you kind of like, because they are, even though they're supposed to be the incompetent fuck ups, because they're the kind of heroes of the show or of the of the setting, that they kind of are more competent than perhaps they should be. So it like so there's some issues there in that regard, but it's still great, and it's constantly entertaining. I think this season had a lot less Gary Oldman being doing his thing, and although I missed that, I really felt it gave some of the other characters some time to shine, and I was grateful for that. So yeah, it's there's nothing else like it. I don't think it's definitely worth checking out.
And I think like I think I'm probably maybe 3 or 4 episodes in, and I totally like it's almost like each season kind of focuses on a few characters specifically, and like
yes,
I noticed that too, where I'm like, I want to know more about like what's happening here, but at the same time, if they can just do more seasons, then maybe we'll get all of what we crave. If they just keep making the show forever.
It's true. I think because
I hate change and I hate endings. So.
Yeah, that's so true. I do like that each season is 6 episodes. I think that's quite neat, and I think it makes it easy to recommend to people. But I think that you could maybe fire a couple of episodes each season in there, and I wouldn't be complaining. Let's put it that way.
Yeah. Do you hear us, Gary?
But yeah.
Put in the time and the effort.
Yeah. Come on. It won't take you long to another I
just
like
saw
2
him
hours of TV.
as Commissioner Gordon again in Batman Begins, and I was just like, right, that's Batman Begins, the one with Commissioner Gordon.
It is.
Wow, and I'm just like, that's Jackson Lamb, Mike, and he's like, I know. It's so weird. It's so weird.
Yeah. Like it is so funny because like he was such like a sex symbol in the like his early career, and like to consider what Jackson Lamb is now, it's brilliant. Like it's so funny. I kind of love that. I kind of love that even more with that context,
And honestly, like having watched Substance, which is about women and aging and how we're not allowed to do it.
No, true.
But like in Hollywood, like men are allowed to, and I'm watching the trajectory of who's the guy that plays Ford in Dungeons and Dragons.
Oh, Hugh Grant.
Hugh Grant, like watching his trajectory, and like basically he's like he's given an interview where he's like, I'm no longer the leading man role, so now I'm the Oompa Loompa, basically. Right?
Yeah.
And like I'm accepting that, and but like there's still roles.
Yes, it's true. Whereas it's not often not the case for a lot of women once they get past a certain and like the film really deals with that in a very kind of like in your face way. I mean, I think I said to Beth before this episode started, like there's nothing subtle about that film, but I think that makes it even better as a result. And like so the kind of three main roles in that film are Demi Moore, Margaret Qualley, and Dennis Quaid, and he embodies that. He's just this piece of shit, like Hollywood executive who is just interested in these young beautiful women, and once they hit a certain point, he's just kind of lost interest in them. So yeah, it's really, I really like that movie a lot. It's a nightmare, but it's brilliant.
I'm excited.
Yeah, check it out.
Okay.
Check it out.
Gonna do it.
But yeah. Okay, folks, so I think we have hit the end of this episode. Beth, can you tell people where they can find us and stuff, please?
Yes, we are at bendypodcast.com. And you can watch full episodes of us like videotaping. Zoom recording ourselves on YouTube. So check us out there, and also our video shorts as well, which may get longer. It might be 3 minutes.
Yeah.
As of tomorrow, we'll see.
We're experimenting with that. Exciting.
I know everyone wants to know the background tech information. I'm nerding out. I don't know. I know I love it so much.
All right, folks. In that case, we'd like to remind you, as always, to
Okay, so on the Zoom thing, it just said playing music? ? Set up professional audio and audio setting.
Well, I mean, like, I'm glad somebody recognizes your talent. Thank you.
Sorry.
All right.
Bye.
We love you.
Bye.